At the heart of every smartphone is a power amplifier. Dr. Chang led a team that made history by producing the world's first high-volume gallium arsenide heterojunction bipolar transistor process. How do these inventions work? Well, next, Dr. Peter Zampardi, an expert in building chips for wireless communication, will tell us about Dr. Frank Chang's invention.
Frank is one of the few people that if he ever calls you and needs to get a hold of you, you just drop whatever you're doing because you want to help him. Because over the years, he's gone out of his way to help so many people, both professionally and personally. The main contributions that Frank has made to electrical engineering are two specific technologies. The first one is what would be called a heterojunction bipolar transistor, and another one that we would call BiFETs. The reason that those devices are so special is because they're very good at amplifying signals. If you're going to send a text, even if you're going to use voice or if you're going to do data, you have to amplify that signal so that it can reach a base station so that it can connect to another person. But more importantly, gas HBTs are very specifically good for this application because they have high breakdown voltages, which means they're hard to blow up. So these amplifiers that are based on the technology that Frank worked on are really the key to communicating from whatever handheld device you have or your Wi-Fi router. It allows you more time between charging your battery because it makes you make that amplifier more efficient. So it enables longer talk times. So the influence that Frank's work has had on present-day society is really one of just connectedness. Frank, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you became interested in the field of semiconductors?
After I finished my PhD in Taiwan, I was encouraged by my own parents to take a venture. And 1979, I immigrated to US. And eventually, I went to join the company called the Rockwell Science Center.
So when you started at Science Center, what led you to get involved in gas heterojunction bipolar transistors?
I started working for a different type of technology called the MESFET. We were so intrigued and excited by our work. Usually, we went home for dinner. Then we came back into the lab to work a little bit more and get ready for the next day. So one evening, like any other, I met a young scientist next to me. We're using the same bench. His name was Peter Asper. Then we started to chat with each other. Yeah. I said, B, why are you working so late? Well, P said, Frank, I'm not as lucky as you. I'm working on a new project called the heterojunction bipolar transistor, and I'm doing that alone. He got no help from anyone. So I think to myself, maybe I can use my life and my time and my knowledge better if I can work on something more challenging and which is new. So I look at him, I say, Peter, since you are working on that alone and your project sounds interesting, why don't you let me to help you in doing it? Let's work together in the evening. And in the daytime, I'll take care of my own business. So from that evening up, we worked every evening together. Evening after evening, we made the steadfast progress. Just unbelievable. Everything we touched that was new, never invented before, never discovered before. We couldn't stop ourselves. Yeah, we wanted to do together day and night to make a difference and to make a reality. And we succeeded. So that was the story. Yeah.
Wow. So at that time, did you ever envision that gas HBTs would become as ubiquitous as they are? Like they're everywhere in everybody's pocket.
I wish I did, but honestly speaking, we never envisioned. We're just thinking, this is a very interesting device, very challenging.
But it's literally in every single generation of the iPhone, that device.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right.
That should make you feel great, right?
Just unbelievable what you are contributed to and devoted to develop. become so useful and appreciated. That's a wonderful feeling.